and central. You know, you can't quite say he's central, but he's central. He's central without having to be central. He's left without having to be left. And there are one or two other things we may not say in public. Peter Kenneth, like for example, that he's a good guy. You can't say that in public.
Really?
Peter Kenneth is a blue-eyed boy.
Yes.
This is the hot favorite of the wheelers and dealers, of the pushers, of the billionaires, of the Mount Kenya Foundation. Also, I think, I may be wrong. So, and he's so close to Raila. He's been with Raila so much that I don't know the day Raila will break the news to him, if he's not part of the game, that look here, Peter, it can't be you. It will be quite agonizing, more for Raila than even Peter himself.
And there are helicopters which can always be used.
Yes, and he's also he's not like Peter Munya or these others. He has something.
No, Lee, I think.
He has one or two things he can, some pocket change to take care of the boys when they are running around. Now,
Lee Kinyanjui has.
Then Lee Kinyanjui, I've talked about him. That he's
in terms of helicopters.
Money he doesn't, he may not have, unless.
Or you're looking at.
Unless because he's good, he can get because he's good.
His heritage, there is money.
Then there's Kalonzo, who is the natural vice deputy president. The natural. If you don't want to disturb things, you don't want to disturb water, you just want things to flow naturally. You give Kalonzo and he gives you 2 million votes. Last time I heard it was about 14 million votes. So he's so natural that if you don't want to disturb things, but then there is Mother Karua. She's ticking so many boxes. Gender. And women in this country could vote for Raila because of Mother Karua. I didn't know until many women have talked to me. They think I have influence, which I don't have. By the way, people think I take breakfast in Karen, to Raila's place, and then proceed to have lunch at State House. They don't know I'm just a small person. So people talk to me when I get surprised. I'm surprised that many women are pushing for Mother Karua from across the country. I've talked to many. Now, gender. 2, Raila's running mate, by default and design, will have to come from Mount Kenya. So you tick that box of Mount Kenya. You get it? Mount Kenya because...
By default. Why do you say by default?
I say design and default.
Oh, default. Okay. All right. Oh, yeah. Okay.
And the reason I'm saying that, if you give me half a second to finish, is because everybody we have talked about does not tick that box of Mount Kenya. Mount Kenya is what brings the software. The hardware are the votes Munya can bring. Not necessarily Munya, especially Kalonzo. You need the goodwill of certain quarters in this country to be able to make the Raila thing successful. So Mother Karua is from Mount Kenya, and because of that, she ticks the box. Finally, Mother Karua brings a reform agenda. If you have this pair of Mother Karua and Raila Odinga, my friend Duncan here may not quite see it. And then juxtapose that with this one of William Ruto and what do you call her? Anne Waiguru. Look at those two pictures. Anne Waiguru and William Ruto. Raila Odinga and Mother, reformist, people who have been in the trenches, fought for democracy, human rights. The answer is obvious. Hakuna mwanafunzi anaamka hiyo mtihani.
But if you looked at yesterday's also the standard, I'll try and put it up. It says, you know, Raila goes for the old, right?
Yes.
Ruto also takes the new.
Correct.
Don't you think also in that particular mix, maybe, if there is a whole debate of who will be the running mate of William Ruto's side? Kalonzo, not really Kalonzo, Moses Wetangula right now, and we had also Musalia Mudavadi.
Yes.
Now they're actually gagging for a 30% stake in government, and we know he's not really going for the DP position anymore.
Yes.
We have a list of, first of all, Professor Kindiki. We have also Ndindi Nyoro in this particular mix because of the youthful face. And we have not Rigathi as such, because now people were saying Rigathi also could be on that particular list.
He's top on the list.
He's top on the list. Yes. But we have a debate also around Rigathi that we can actually put up on Rigathi, all right, so to speak. But let's just fly with those three as it is right now. And we rope in now Dr. Ojwang on this, because first of all, is that speculation rife within the UDA camp that Ndindi Nyoro Professor Kindiki, Rigathi, even one Anne Waiguru, because now of the female factor, is on that particular mix of being the deputy president. And then we can actually tease out one by one and we see what are the cons and pros that they bring on the table at the end of the day.
Thank you, Libal, and the great panelist. Can I be served the same menu they just ate?
You were late for this menu. That's why we can begin from there, right?
Briefly, before I
briefly.
get to the question.
That is on the Daily Nation.
Yeah. It will be hard for Martha Karua because President Uhuru, general plan is to succeed himself. That's why he's still the advisor of the coalition. And that is why
will it be hard for Martha Karua?
So remember the runoff and the history was that Martha Karua refused to be deputy prime minister because she felt she didn't get deputy prime minister. She felt it shouldn't have been Uhuru, it should have been her. So unless Uhuru is really going home, then she will not have a problem with Martha Karua. But as long as she wants to be the biggest, baddest, and the most important politician in Mount Kenya, Martha Karua will overshadow, will not be the appropriate person. And honestly, closer to Raila because of the reform history than the president. Peter Kenneth, closer to Raila than the president. This you cannot say is the president's person. Remember, even at the funeral of his father, it was Raila asking the president, could you give this guy a job? I think president will go for somebody very close to him. In short, just I think that president will choose somebody who is a technocrat, might not be here, who will not overshadow him, so that he remains the biggest visible leader in Mount Kenya in this coalition. Now, you have given a new set of menu of possible UDA running mates. I've seen every time DP calls Ndininyoro, there is a lot of excitement on his voice. He's from Muranga, he's young, he's very articulate. And so I see Ndininyoro as a very likely person. I don't see Waiguru. She came to the party late. And coming to the party late, I think the best she can scrub from that coalition is a governor. And because you don't want to offend those who have labored longer, those who have been consistent longer, and those who came when it was more risky and it wasn't fashionable to do the same, it might be difficult. And so the list is getting smaller in my view from what I see. And I see that Ndininyoro could be almost front runner in the run for deputy president. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Maybe we can also tease out, we'll come back to the issues now of the deputy presidents and the pros and cons, looking at each individual. But looking also at this Azimio roadmap that was given yesterday, the issue of opinion polls, we've seen how also it has really stoked a lot of, animosity on the ground, where people are saying, where is the fairness? When were these opinion polls done? By which particular, polling institution or polling service were actually commissioned to actually carry out this particular exercise? So do you think also this that has been rife on the ground will extrapolate on the deputy president or the running mate choice decision at the end of the day? People will say, oh no, I think there was no fairness and transparency, just as we've had with the opinion polls on the ground. Ambrose. And is that the wisest way to go for this particular exercise?
Thank you. First of all, opinion polls design parameters. They would say, between me and Manyora, who is? So he's excluded, you are excluded. Then the opinion poll comes. But it doesn't mean that me and Manyori were the most popular. You could be more popular than us, but the opinion poll has been limited. So in the context of the opinion polling, that is how it works. So these people may be given this name, this name, this name, this name, who is more popular. Then they tell you, yeah, this one is more popular. But I think that the deputy president will be selected on the basis you look at a wedding. There's always the dress and the vehicles and the alignment, and people are ululating and the singing. But the bride is known and the groom is known. So it makes people understand that this ceremony ushered in. It gives legitimacy. It gives a position where we say, yeah, we saw the bride and we also saw the groom. The deputy president has been settled on. All this other gerrymandering and sub-rattling is to give it some legitimacy so that the painful pill is swallowed easily and whole. I think, number one, that the Raila deputy president will be determined by President Uhuru and his team. Just the way the Nairobi governor, originally it was Ngatia, it was Wanyonyi, it was who. Then they were told, as far as we know it, we prefer Igade.
Yes.
Then they said, we have Wanyonyi and so on. Say, find out what you do with him. Then they found out that deputy, because he has credentials, he has a good name, he has support. They said, okay, let's make him deputy so that he can shove up Igade. So the deputy president here is known. They know it. Or if it's not known exactly, then they know we have three. We are okay with one of the three. So find a ceremony to usher in one of them. So these people will come and say, after looking at the opinion poll here, and after seeing how the White House will accept this one, and the London and number 10 Downing Street, we think the most acceptable is so and so. And then we cheer and say, hallelujah, praise the Lord. And then we go for elections. Otherwise, there's nothing like this opinion poll said Manyora is the best running mate. Hakuna. His name is not there even, but he could be the most popular.
How much?
I want to agree with Ambrose about, and I said it on a few days ago here, I think on Tuesday, that someone was asking, is Raila waiting for Ruto to pick? Is Ruto waiting for rubbish? It doesn't make any sense. There's no difference. Ruto already has a name. So, that's Raila. All these have nothing to do with searching for a running mate. Raila already has a name. And that's why I was saying he should be left to give us that name. Because nothing is going to change that decision. All they are doing is preparing the ground. And that's why they're complaining about this debt that has been set by IBC, that by next Thursday or something like that.
Yeah, 28th.
The 28th. They want to take time. You see, like within this time now, they have managed to squeeze in something for Wiper, Speaker of the County Assembly of Nairobi. Then there will be something else and something else. By the time the canvas know that he's not the running mate, at least they have, and you need time to the pain, the period of grief, the stages of grief. So they are taking the people through the stages and preparing them for the ultimate. Because this is a cancer patient. So, but basically, like Ambrose says, certainly, Raila has a name. And all these are just things coloring the whole process. But the name is already there.
So the name is already
change. And just say something about Mother Karua. People think Mother Karua is what she was 15 years ago. She's not a girl. When she walked out on Moi with the DP salute, that was many years ago. A lot has happened. Do you think the Raila you are seeing is the Raila of even 2007? Time has a way of dealing with human beings. As you age, and I'm talking as an old man, realities begin to slap you in the face. Mother Karua can see where life is taking her. She can see there's almost nothing left for her in this world. She will toe the line. I'm telling you, she will be the best girl. The day the ladies were talking about her, there was this women caucus. She looked like a young girl going for a wedding. Did you see? Did you notice?
Like a bride.
The Mother Karua of 2007 at KICC and at Serena is not the Mother Karua of now. This is even Hillary Clinton. She came tough the first time round. She came very tough in trouser suits. You remember those trouser suits?
Yes.
She was told, no,
You're too strong.
just look like a woman. Dress like a woman. Just be a woman. Just be yourself. That toughness. You saw the second time she ran, she wasn't the same person when she was running against Trump.
So
She had changed.
lose the power suit.
So yes, and she really changed it, even the dressing. So the Mother Karua people are talking about is a different Mother Karua. She can even be part of the game. Even if the owners of this game want a running mate to Raila, who will know she's only doing 5 years and she will go home, she could play. She goes, okay, fine. 5 years, I enjoy everything, and then I go home, I'm okay, I'm game. You know, when you grow old, certain things, reality begins to have an impact on you. This Mother Karua can be Raila's deputy.
Okay.
And they can work very well. You'll be surprised.
Dr. Juan?
Well, I wish that reality hit earlier. We will not have a lot of this heartache and problems.
Maybe, yeah, she had not mellowed by then.
But you see, there is still some fight in Martha Karua. Yes, you wisen up or you give up. Really, that's what he's saying in very colorful languages. And he's a model of those who have given up. But that's what he's saying, isn't it? But that the older you get, no,
He's not quite giving up.
not necessarily. So what people call reality, this is the real deal. It's usually the setting in and throwing in the towel. I don't think Martha Karua has given up on this country and what she's able to do, because she represented us as amicus in Court of Appeal, because she had the issue of BBI and she came out of the of principle, and she was my lawyer, and we were able to talk, and she can still be. You can see the Martha who was magistrate who have been consistent and who is saying no, this is nonsense and this is our country. And so even when she joined Azimio, you realize she didn't mourn with those who are mourning the failure of BBI there. She was able to. So how do you put her as deputy president, yet BBI is the biggest project that this coalition is getting ready to relaunch? It can't work, because this is the big four, BBI. You can't put Martha Karua there, who fought it to death for principle. Finally, I think I agree with the panelists that this will be abuse of science.
Abuse of science.
Yeah, it's abuse of science. What are you polling? Because the indicators, if you want to poll, then poll anybody in the country and say who, so that somebody come and say, me I think it's Manyora, me I think it's, you will be selecting a certain people. As somebody who have done research, from your question, you will get the outcome you want. Even these candidates have so much diversity amongst them, so that how do you poll Kalonzo and for example, Peter Kenneth? What is it in common? What are you looking for? Is it the experience, and the experience where? Is it the region? So there is no, it won't be science. And they have said it aptly that it will just be conveyor belt, but done in the name of science. So that when you come and say the polls said you are not popular, like I was seeing one which was saying Peter Kenneth is popular as a running mate than Kalonzo. But if you now ask who is popular in Kenya between Peter Kenneth and Kalonzo, it will be Kalonzo. Who is popular being running mate? So it is messed up. It's not science. But finally, I think that if two things. One, in serious countries, polls are not done by private entrepreneur. It's done by universities, political science department. So that if you go to Michigan University Political Science, they will show you trends of poll, not one poll. They will tell you, we have been polling for 4 years, and this is the trend, and we are giving you average of 20 polls. But here in Kenya, our polls are tenders that we are bidding. Whoever want to do poll, you come. Tell us how you are going to do it. There's no legitimacy. These are not polls, my friend. These are a snapshot, like you'll take a selfie. These are damn science, in short. And then you see, every time you do a poll in this country, be very ready for bad action to follow. When have you seen poll follow good action in this country? You have seen it in ODM nomination. Poll have always brought the most unpopular person. So let us not abuse science. Let us leave science pure and do politics for politics' sake. Thank you.
Yeah, and as Miguna always say, that you commissions the polls, dictates the results at the end of the day. So this is dumb science that you're saying. It's a dumb science.
It's like there's a book called Dumb Science. Don't be scared that I use the word dumb.
No.
There's a book called Dumb Science, and it's talking about wrong polls. So I mean it's joking with science, joking with everything else. There is no polls where you are now saying I gave this person a tender to do poll.
Thank you.
But there is one poll that works. All these candidates have real polls that they don't share publicly, that tells them you are not going to make it, or you are going to make it. Any poll you see in the public newspaper are political messaging and advertisements.
Okay. Well, let's just listen in to some of the reactions that we had yesterday from Azimio Council meeting, and we had Junaid Mohammed speaking. Let's listen in.
The Council also resolved to appoint an advisory panel to recommend to the presidential candidate suitable candidates for nomination as the deputy presidential candidate.
Right, that was just a reaction there from the Azimio Council meeting yesterday. And we just want to gravitate this particular discussion now and look. First of all, I want to get the reaction of Herman Manyora. No, it is actually Weda on this opinion polls. Yes. So there's one which is for the public, and there's one which is done furtively, that they know about the results, who's popular and who's not popular, but now that one they will not really declare to the public at the end of the day. So there are two polls running parallel.
Yes.
Where is the sincerity at the end of the day?
My brother Debal, there's no sincerity anywhere. In fact, I tell people that the biggest lie you can tell is the lie you tell yourself. At all times, you have to tell yourself the truth, then you can tell the others. So there is this poll, even if you want to run for a position, parliamentary, whatever, you do your own poll where you say, I want an accurate result. What are they? Those who support me, what do they say? Those who do not like me, what do they say? All this. So they come and tell you, although outside here you think you are 80%, down here those who can vote for you are just 20%. So if you are going to move up, you are going to work on this, work on this, work on this, work on this, work on this. Now all this helps you to grow. But there is also the polls that you say, now do one which we use to shape the opinion of the people. Or threaten our enemies. So that is the one that my brother is talking about, the fake polls and so on. So that the reality one, and there's the one for shaping public opinion. Now, if let's say they want Honorable Martha Karua to be the running mate, there will be polls saying the most favorable in among this is so and so. If they want Honorable Munya, there will be the most favorable this. If they want, soon you have now seen even our brother and my friend Igade. His name was brought up just the other day. And you can see the media everywhere. The man who walked out of Sonko's successes, the man who means business, Nairobi requires an achiever, a deliverer, all these people. And then he also started, yeah, I think you guys can do this. And immediately they told Wanyonyi, oh, this and that, the brother left you, you should have gone, all these things. So to shape public opinion. Why? To serve the interest. So anytime you commission a poll, you have to ask yourself, for what? If it is to influence people, you say, bring it that Raila is now leading. And Honorable Ruto is 1 inch, 1.5 below.
It's neck and neck.
Neck and neck. But you cannot tell people now, you see. The gain that Honorable, the Deputy President had is this all blah, 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 blah. So that is the reality of life. That is why God himself says, Jehovah says, that cursed is the man who trusts fellow man. Cursed. You are cursed if you trust a fellow human being. Because God himself saw that the heart of man is inclined to evil. And he grieved, he cried. He just wanted to destroy humanity. Then he had favor with the Noah. So you see a poll, they tell you, Manyora, you would have run for this seat. But, yes, so and so is ahead. Then you are like, oh, okay. Then they call you to a boardroom meeting when they say, how much do you have? At something, a story is told, I don't know. A story is told that when President Moi was leaving office, precious memories, may Jehovah have his rest his soul in eternal peace. There was Aitoti, there was all these people, Kalonzo, these people who are angling to succeed him. It is rumored that he called them and told them, show me how much you will invest in the presidential election. This is the cost. And now it became very difficult for some people. That is just rumors I had. In other words, you can be called into the boardroom and you are told, look at the opinion polls. You are 20 points down. So and so as will outspend you. What do you think? What is your view? Do you insist on running? Or you take this offer? Say, let me go and pontificate with the family. And anytime you go and ask your wife, if you are a man, or you ask your husband if you are a woman, that they showed me an opinion poll where I'm trailing. And I also need now extra money to catch up. The lady will tell you, let's pray over it. And then they tell you, Jehovah says, relax.
Okay, before we take a short break, I just want to run by our viewers also or what Herman Manyora had commented today in the Star. It's a pity that we don't have the Star, the hard copy with us. But this is what you're saying, and then we'll actually try and tease out what Herman Manyora is saying. If we just pick it up, Raila on horns of running mate dilemma. And he says it is tough for Raila Odinga, but it is becoming obvious that he will pick his running mate from Mount Kenya. And the reason for that is obvious, that with President Uhuru Kenyatta's participation in his election, we will expect Raila will reciprocate. It is not that he wants that position to go to Mount Kenya, but it is because Uhuru will need to make Mount Kenya comfortable. He needs to assure them that their interest will be catered for and that their future is guaranteed. That is why he may face Mount Kenya. But within Mount Kenya itself, there are issues. I do not know whether Martha Karua will be the better candidate. Karua is gaining traction. She brings the woman or gender card. Many women are saying they will vote for her. I do not know whether to believe them, but it could be true. If they did, that will be a wonderful thing. Secondly, they are saying, and this is true, that she is a reformist. I have always said that anybody who wants to change this country must start by fighting corruption and bad governance. If you have Martha Karua on your side, the country can believe you. You have two reformists, people with a track record, people who have been in the trenches, people who have fought for human rights and democracy. If you have them together, that is a powerful lineup. It can send a serious signal that this is an administration that will go all the way to fight corruption and promote good governance. But there are a few challenges. Peter Kenneth is being fronted by Mount Kenya Foundation, those rich business people, so we are told. And he appears to be their favorite in that region, of those big figures in that region. He could be favored by Uhuru or Raila himself, or maybe they will bring in a technocrat, someone like James Mwangi or James Macharia. They could also decide to go to Peter Munya to get Mount Kenya East vote, or they can decide to give Kalonzo Musyoka the job because he has disturbed them for a long time. Let's just leave it at that. He has disturbed them for a long time. So Kalonzo is a disturbance. We want to take a short break and circle back with that, and then we challenge also Herman Manyora on that particular, of course, piece in the Star today. Don't go away, you're watching Uongozi here on Morning Prime.